Okay, so let's talk about being a woman in music. I was going to tell you guys a story that I think is fascinating. Sometimes people just like totally respect you, and it's spectacular. And there are sometimes where you're just like, there's no way you're serious right now. Like this guy on Tinder, right? We're not talking about music, right? This is not a space to talk about music. This guy goes, I saw your songwriter, can I send you a song? And I was like, oh God, I don't know where this is gonna go, but sure, let's try it. So he sends me a song. I don't really respond because I don't want to give feedback to a stranger on the internet, but we'll get to strangers on the internet later. And I said to him, I was like, whatever. So he like incessantly asked me, he's like, what do you think about the song? What do you think about the song? I was like, are you sure you want my actual opinion? Because if you ask for it, I'll give it to you, but if not, I will listen and I'm not giving feedback. And if you want the feedback, I'll give it to you. He goes, okay. I was like, your mix on your guitar sucks. It's boring, it's dull, and it's not coming to life. He goes, I don't think you understand what mixing is. Well, I'm sorry, sir, but I have a degree in music production. I have interned for multiple multi-platinum songwriters and producers. I then worked for them, sat in the back of multi-platinum studios for more hours than you can even imagine, have worked with more producers than you know. I worked for the woman who signed and developed Katy Perry. I am a producer myself. I produced the song that you asked me about listening to your song for. I know what mixing is. And he goes, oh, so now you're trying to one-up me. And I was like, I literally had to block this man, and then some random girl starts tweeting at me. And it was like, you are disrespectful of my friend. I screenshot the text, and I was like, was I? Was I the disrespectful one? She shut up, it was great. So, the moral of that story is, if you're knowledgeable, some people are gonna like try to attack you for literally no reason. I've learned to specifically ask, do you want feedback, or do you want me to listen? Because some people don't want feedback and some people do, and you don't need to give feedback to everybody. And if they do, and they're assholes about it, they still ask you for the feedback. Remember that. Don't let them, And so, moral of the story is, don't surround yourself with that energy, because it exists. But that was 3 years ago now that I was around that energy. Right now, I would go out to an event, and like the other day I went to this little pop-off event at a little recording studio in Nashville. I live in Nashville. I lived in LA for the last 5 years before that. I don't know if I said that. But I get invited to this little pop-off event. There's like little A&Rs and people. One of the A&Rs was Chris Martinega, who went to Full Sail, and he's amazing. One of the coolest people I've ever known. Truly one of the all he wants is the greatness of music, and he's what an A&R should look like. And he's there, and all these other people are there. It was so fun. And this guy comes up to me, and we start talking to each other. We follow each other on Instagram. And I was like, wait, how do you know this person? He's like, wait, how do you know this person? He goes, can we be best friends? I'm like, can we be best friends? And we're like, okay. So we have a writing session set up for the 22nd. Do you know what I mean? Like, there are so many people in this world that absolutely will respect you. And when you start doing things that are great, people just respect you. When you do things like you're not great yet, they might not. Last night, Mike Connor and I were talking, and he goes, your class hated you. And I was like, oh yeah, they did, didn't they? They did. I remember that now. And then I was like, but look at how many of them are still in music. How many of them are working producers who get paid to produce music, who have songs going viral on TikTok, who are doing literally anything in the industry. I don't care. Me. Be you, and if they don't respect you, don't spend your energy on it. Because it literally, if the more you spend your energy proving to somebody that you're worth it, the more time you're taking from yourself working on your craft so the songs prove it for you. Just make your songs prove it for you. And it takes a long time. I'm sure they didn't respect me because my songs weren't that good back then. They were good sketches, but they weren't what they are now. Correct. And so you have to take that time. It takes years to develop your craft. Work on it. Ask questions. Send me stuff. I'll send you feedback. If it takes a long time, we'll set up a whole session or whatever. I don't know. But ask people. Ask your professors. Your professors are great at giving feedback. Just work on your craft. It's really important. That's some of the things that I've experienced as a woman in music, is that just forget that you're a woman in music, because it doesn't matter. And if anybody has to remind you that you're a woman in music, go to the people who look at you as a musician. And that's all that matters. Or go to the people that look at you and I was like, that is a creative fiend right there. That's all that matters. And if they're looking at you like you're a woman in music. It's like, and you're a man in music. Like, it's not like this is the time to be a superior white boy. Like, we're not in that era anymore. Like, if you look at somebody for their gender, you're literally doing it wrong at this point, including yourself. Like, I don't look at myself as a woman in music, but like, I just look at myself and I'm just like, I listen to my own songs in the car at this point. I did it when I was at Full Sail. I couldn't get what I wanted this year. I wasn't there yet as a producer, as a songwriter, as an artist. The song that I want to play you, I've listened to this song more times. By the time that you guys are gonna have it out next month, I'm gonna be probably bored of it, but because I've listened to it so many times. And like, when you get to that point that you're listening to your own music and your music is your favorite thing, then you know that you're at a point that like other people will too. And if they don't, it means they're not worth talking to. You don't have to be the greatest person on the planet. Like, just be you and the greatness will come to you. You know what I mean? Be yourself, create it, and if people don't respect you, literally don't waste your time. There's nothing more time consuming than trying to prove something to somebody they're never gonna be proven. Like, these guys back here, these guys knew from the beginning, as you've heard them, they're like, no, you had great sketches. And I was like, I didn't even think that of me, and these guys did, you know what I mean? Like, Troy always has been the #1 supporter of mine. I love Troy, like, always. These people, like, there's so many people that'll support you, so spend your time with them. When I met this guy, Sammy, I met him on a plane, right? Sitting on a plane, I'm like, where's the cutest guy I can sit next to? Of course, it was always this guy. It's just a pattern in my life at this point. So, Sammy, I sat next to him, I started talking to him, I said, oh, hey, like, so what do you do? He's like, I'm a songwriter. I was like, oh, no way, me too. It turns out that he's spectacular. I really like his music. We have grown together in insurmountable ways. Like, we have gotten a cut with a big EDM artist who's signed to the same label as Tritonal. We won the USA Songwriting Competition together, and he's the person that I wrote this song with. It wasn't like he looked at me the day that I met him on this plane and was like, oh, like, an intern. This was years ago. He looked at me and was like, oh, sick, let me listen to your music. I was like, oh, sick, let me listen to yours. And like, we just grew together. And like, the people around him, they always respected me. If they're not respecting you, don't waste your time. And you have to remember, respect your energy, respect your time. And like, when you respect yourself, other people will respect you. Like, it starts within. So that's what it's like to be a woman in music, I think. It's just pretending that you're, not even pretending, just being a human in music. It's the same thing. And if anybody wants to call you a woman in music instead of a human in music, then don't waste your time. So I always start from the chorus. Backstory on why I'm going to show you this session. Something I realized is, look how many vocal tracks I have. What is this? Oh my God, that's so much more than I thought. I have 56 vocal tracks on this. I have verse, ad-lib, pre-ad-lib, ad-lib, chorus, main. Those are all the bridge vocals. These are all the doubles and harmonies, and then more ad-libs, right? 56 vocal tracks. But first off, if you have a not as good song, it's gonna be impossible to produce. But if you write a good song with a good hitting chorus that is higher, more elevated than the verse, you're going to have an easy time producing it. If you don't, work on the song. The entire reason for production is to elevate the song. If your songwriting sucks, your production can't polish a turd. So work on your song. I always like to start with the chorus for that reason, because if you start with the chorus, you know where you're going in the verse. That also means that you know where your antithesis is going. You know where everything's. So I like to start with the chorus. That means that I then produce based on starting with the chorus, right? So then I also have like where I'm going, and then it goes down from there instead of going down, like having a great verse and having to go up from there. It's so much harder. It's so much easier to make it simpler and more specific. With this song in particular, it's called Stranger on the Internet, right? It's coming out in April. You guys are going to get a sneak preview of it because I'm obsessed with it and I think it's really awesome. And I'm flying to Chicago to show a stranger. I think I'm crazy, and so does he probably. To show a stranger on the internet a song that I wrote about him, right? For a TikTok. 100%. I'm like doing a TikTok live with him and I was, hey, do you remember I said I wrote a song about you? And it was loosely based off you? Number one, it's not loosely based off you anymore. Number two, you know how I'm from 15 minutes from you? How do you feel about me flying to Chicago to show you this song for a TikTok? Obviously, I'll stay with my parents. I'm really going to see them, but like, it'd be to come see you to show you for a TikTok. He's like, yeah, love it, great idea. Which is bizarre. but I'm all here for it. So we started the song, and basically, me and Sammy, it started with the idea of like, so I slid into the DMs of this cute little TikToker, and Sammy's like, wait, I love this idea. And it used to be, where is it, chords? It used to be piano, it's not piano anymore, it's now reverse piano because I thought it sounded cooler. So I basically took this idea, and I was like, hey, so I have a crush on a stranger on the internet, and we're like, I want to call the song Stranger on the Internet. And he's like, great idea, let's do it. We were just playing back and forth, co-writing. If you don't co-write, you need to. I mean, if you look at a credit of any big song, they do not, there's very few with one writer on it. So why do you think that you're going to get one writer on a great song as a college student if these professionals have usually 3 or more? So me and Sammy have been writing together for a long time. He's in LA, I was in Nashville. We did a Zoom write, meaning you can do it anywhere in the world as long as you know people. Me and him, I'm telling him all these things. I'm like so crazy. I'm like reading him the DMs to try to get ideas and like try to like explain the story of what I want to say. I'm like, I want to write this song about the stranger and kind of be like, hi, I'm in love with a stranger on the internet that I literally don't know, but he's just a TikToker. So we started going back and forth, coming up with melody ideas, and we kind of came up with, pretend this is a piano because we started with just piano and vocals. So I like to start with the chorus, because, so it started. Think I'm in love with the player who I never met. He feels like more than a stranger on the internet. I'm telling secrets in his DMs when you're in the lead. Does he know feel like something? He feels like more than a stranger. And then I kept doing this little, like, I kept saying, I was like, than a stranger, over the Zoom, and Sammy was like, you're a psychopath. And I was like, no, like, imagine it an octave lower. It's gonna be awesome. I'm like, than a stranger. And so it was more than a stranger on the internet. So basically, if you have a good chorus, it's easy to make that sound good. So then I added a bass line, right? Super simple. I was like, this sounds cool. Think I'm in love with the player who I never met. He feels like more than a stranger on the internet. I'm telling secrets in the DMs when you're in the lead. Does he know feel like something? He feels like more than a stranger on the internet. Okay, so notice how that whole time I'm going boom, and I was like, that's obviously the snare. It's on the 1 and the 3, right? So that's where the snare goes. So I'm like, think I'm in love with the player. So I was like, well, if I'm adding a snare, I mean, it's on the 1 and 3. It's not that interesting, I promise. We don't need to listen to the whole thing again. Then I'm like, oh, if I'm adding a snare, I should add a kick. Think I'm in love with the player. Okay, now we're getting somewhere, right? Cool, awesome. And then I was like, now we have to add some sort of, I'm like, there needs to be a texture added to it. There's something missing, so I don't remember how I did this. Oh, I remember. Think I'm in love with the player who I never met. And then I was like, well, now we need some sort of hi-hat percussion. I once read, there was a post, like a meme type thing that we read in class, and I was like, I thought that taking drum samples was cheating, so then I started recording my own drum samples, but then I thought that using a drum kit was cheating, so I started making my own drum kit, but then I thought using lambskin was cheating, so I started, from other lambs, so I started farming my own lambs. I haven't been making music for a while because I'm so busy with the farming the lambs now. And I, you know, it was an amazing like thing that they showed us in class, and I was like that. So I used these drum samples and retimed, and I was like awesome. And then I added a bass to make it sound thicker, and you go. It's so easy. Fire. Again, that only works because the chorus is fire. If the chorus weren't fire, that wouldn't work. But it's so simple if you've got each element that is fire. But don't add too many elements. If it's not, if there's too many elements, it means that something's not right. Get rid of it, start over, simple, simplify, you know? There's a bass, no, let's start over. There's your top line. A top line is the singing. It's the vocal, the melody, the lyric, right? So if you are just a lyric melody writer, that's called being a top liner. If It's important to know that. So, you know, you get that fire top line, you get your drums, you've got your plucky thing is what I call it. I don't know, like some sort of melodic line that makes it interesting. Your chords. And, am I missing something? Top line, drums, chords, plucky thing, bass. There we go. I got it there. I promise. And then you add a ton of harmonies. Like, a ton of harmonies. Like, probably there's 4 choruses. So there's 4 doubles of the chorus, 4 octave lower. Think I'm in love. I can do think I'm in love. Automatically adds the frequency range, so do it if you can. If you can do it 70% melodyne it. Pretend like you can. It's in the background, no one cares. Harmonies, boom. Of course. It's so easy, guys. Now do you know how easy it is to produce the rest of the song and write the rest of the song? We have the antithesis. We have the antithesis with all the instrumentation. Now we should just change some octaves on stuff. Maybe add a few instruments, but same lines, same instrumentation. You know, there's nothing new that you're necessarily adding. So, you know, the intro is just the bass. It's already in the chorus. You only add one element from there. Simple. All we've got is the bass line at the beginning. Add one thing at a time, right? Okay, now let's add the snare, right? We've done one version of the verse, now let's add something. Okay, now that we're getting to the second part of this verse, you add one thing. One, that's it, right? Add the chords in. It's so easy, guys. Don't overthink it. Add one thing. Adding more percussion and the little tinny bits. I guess that's 2. Nope, we need to it. Like, so easy. Straight chords. Amazing, right? You have one main instrument, and that's this one's the bass. Amazing. So much easier than this other one, I promise. Don't get in your head. Now we have 2 elements, so drop back down. It's not as big. Adding more details. First verse, all about him, telling me why I'm in love with this stranger on the internet. I love his dog. He worked at Microsoft. He didn't. He worked at Google. Microsoft rhymes with dogs, and I don't care what you say. Microsoft rhymes with dog. So the first verse, you know, all these things where it's like, then the second verse, it was like, I was talking to Sammy, and I was like, oh my God, I think he thinks I'm crazy. He must think I'm crazy, because I am crazy. Like, what is, you know? And then my friend Sammy was like, you are the most confident person I've ever met. Why do you care? And I was like, that's a good point. He's like, and that's what our second verse is. So the second verse is, I hope he thinks I'm beautiful and laughs at all my silly posts. I check my views ever since he followed. I don't even remember. Ever since he followed. Oh, he gave a heart, mine skips a beat. He liked my dating history video that I posted from 3 months ago. Like, all these reasons that I'm embarrassed of myself, you know? So the first verse is all about him, and then it's, he paints a picture-perfect online presence. Then I write, then the second verse, my online presence probably isn't what it's supposed to be. You know, so you take the same song, but you write a completely different perspective. First, it's all about him. Then it's all about me. And then then it's all about us.
I'll be Barbie all weekend, 'cause I wanna play pretend with you. Scrolling through my daily feed for the content that I need. It's you. I'll be Barbie all weekend, playing house inside my head. Us two. Don't wanna get too ahead, but you look nice inside my bed. It's true.
My only warning is, if you write a song about a stranger on the internet that starts off as a joke and you spend as much time as you do producing it, you may actually fall in love with him as a problem. And the question that I've been asking myself is, do I love him or do I love this song? No, it's obviously the song. I don't know. It's obviously the song. I have no idea who this person is. This is a song. It's fire. And that's how you should feel about your song. know how many times I quit music? Now I'm just like, ugh, I keep trying, but I won't. And I've tried applying to real people jobs, and I'm like, if you're paying me less than $200,000 a year, why would I waste my time? Healthcare? Still no. You know? Like, you gotta keep going and just make it. And if you don't like something, focus on one thing. If you are hitting a roadblock, move across the country to Nashville when you live in LA, find a cheap apartment, sell everything you own. Why not? You know? Try a new city. Call your co-writers in LA, write a song with them, even though you're not there anymore, but your rent's less fucking expensive now. You know, like, go to summer camp, stop writing for 3 months. You know? Absolutely, give it up again. I gave up for 3 months this summer. I was so excited to give up knowing that I was moving to Nashville. I was like, I am not writing songs this summer. Okay, I'll teach some songwriting lessons for the campers, but I'm not writing songs again. I'm just taking 3, okay, I'll perform every Sunday at Campfire, but I'm not writing songs. You're cute. Oh, you're gay? I'll write a song about that. But I'm not writing songs. You know, I'm just living for 3 months, being the media director, being the photographer, and then I left and I was like, I've missed writing songs so much, oh my God. And I'm like so excited to get into Nashville. And it's like, sometimes you just have to try something else. The other day I was like, I don't want to write a song today, I don't know what to do, but I really want to make a CD wall. If you are a creative person, you are a creative person. Don't deny yourself of that. Sometimes you just have to go, all right, I'm done producing music, I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna go be a photographer right now. Wherever you're supposed to go, it'll lead you to where you need to be. Just do it, follow it, work your booty off, so that way you are always being called to different places and you are always being asked to do things. Make sure that you leave yourself with a good name so people like you. Unless they don't want to pay you enough, then screw them. Because if they're not going to pay you enough, they're not worth having in your network anymore. Because pay you, don't let anybody not give you your work. We don't do that anymore. I mean, maybe if you're an intern, but you're learning from them too. But don't let that last too long. 3 months is the maximum. Don't do more than that. Work your booty off until you get to somewhere. And then you hate something, go to social media for a minute. It'll drag you to the next place. You know, follow the dopamine. That's a song of mine. But follow the dopamine. Follow where you're supposed to go. It'll lead you to where you need to be. As long as you're working hard the whole time.